Hello everyone, my name is Naman Goyal and today we are going to learn chapter comparing quantities of grade 7, right? Because in previous lecture we started this chapter, right? So in previous lecture what we learned about percentage. See, percentage is the one of the most important concept you are going to use in your daily life, right? So in today's lecture what we are going to learn about these topics, right? First is percentage when total is not 100. Okay, see, in so many examples, what we learn about percentage where the total of the numbers, total of the items or total of the objects is 100. Okay, so we take total objects as 100. Okay, now we are going to learn about what percentage when total is not 100. Okay, so we are going to take some examples. With the help of that examples we are going to learn how we can find the percentage when total is not 100. Okay, now conversion of fractions and decimal to percentage. Now we learn about how we convert fractions and decimal into percentage. Okay, now converting percentage to fraction and decimal. First we learn about fractions and decimal to percentage, right? And after that we learn about how we convert percentage to fractions and decimal, right? Now after that we learn about use of percentage. Okay, then we are going to do some word problems on percentage. Okay, so these are the major topics we are going to cover in today's lecture. Okay, now first thing is what? Percentage when total is not 100. Okay, so how we find the percentage when the total is not 100? Okay, see, for example, if total is 100, means if there are total 100 students, from these 100 students 20 play cricket, 10 play football. Okay, and 40 play basketball, and how much left? 20, 30, 70, and 30 play, this is basketball and this is tennis, right? So if I'm asking for how much percent log, how many percent log plays cricket, so you told me the answer is 20%, right? Because the total is what? 100. You can tell me the 10% people student plays football, 40% plays basketball, and 30% plays tennis. So it becomes very easy to find, right? Because the total is 100, right? And we know that the total, mostly in the case, total is what? 100%. Okay, so we can say that this is very easy to find. Okay, now next, if total is not 100, for example, if we have colors. Okay, we have, for examples, we have two colors. One is red and another one is blue. Okay, and number of balls of that colors, number of balls we have, for example, we have 8 balls for red color and 12 balls for blue color. Okay, now if you see, the total is what? Total is 20. Now total is not 100. Now question is asking for find the percentage, how many percent red balls are there, how many percent blue balls are there. Okay, so first of all, for finding the percentage, what we are going to find? We are going to find fraction, how much fraction red balls are there, how much fraction blue balls are there. So for that fraction, what we have to do? We have to take 8 balls are red upon total balls. How many total balls are there? 20. Similarly for blue it will be 12 upon 20, right? Now as I told you, for finding percentage, if question is asking for percentage, what you have to do? You have to multiply that fraction by 100, isn't it? I told you in previous lecture, what we have to do? We have to multiply that fraction by 100. That we got what? Percentage, answer in percentage. So for finding the percentage, we have to multiply 8 by 20 into 100, right? 0 will be cancelled out, 0, it will be cancelled out by 5 times. 8 5s are 40. So number of red balls is 40%. How much red balls are there? 40% red balls are there. Similarly, 12 by 20 into 100. How much we got? This will be cancelled out by 5 times. 60% blue balls are there. Are you getting my point? So we can easily find when the total is not 100. So what we have to do? We have to find the fraction first. And once we got the fraction, then for converting the fraction into percentage, what we have to do, we have to multiply it by 100, isn't it? Okay, so we can do questions like that, right? Okay, so we can take another example. Okay, you can take any example. Okay, now if there are sport, okay, first we have cricket, which is cricket, football, okay, football and basketball. Okay, we have the three sports. Okay, number of people who played basketball, number of people who plays basketball and football, etc., and so on and so on. Okay, so let me change the color. Okay, let me take this color. Okay, very nice. So if we take there are 20 people who plays football, so who plays cricket, 30 who plays football, and you can take okay, you can take this as not 30, you can take this as 10, and this as 15. You can take this as 20 and this is 10. Okay, so now if you see, total is what? 20 plus 10 plus 20, which is 50, right? So total 50 students are there. Now question is asking for find the how many percent pupils like cricket, how many percent people like football, how many percent people like basketball. We have to find that only. Okay, now first of all, what we have to do, we have to find out the fraction, how much fraction people like cricket and so on, right? So for fraction, it will be 20 by 50, right? It will be what? 20 by 50. It will be 10 by 50, and it will be 20 by 50. Okay, isn't it? So now for percent, now if you asking for percent, then as I told you, for converting fraction to percent, what we have to do, we have to multiply that fraction by 100. So it gives what? 20 upon 50 into 100. So it will be what? If you see, this will be 0, cancel out. 40% people are there who plays cricket. Okay, now similarly it becomes 10 upon 50 into 100. So if you see, 20% pupils who like to play football. Now it's time for what? It's time for selection pen first. Okay, okay, now 20 upon 50 into 100, right? So if you solve this, how much you got? You will got 40%, right? Okay, but the point is, if you add the percentage, you definitely got 100%. If you add 40 and 60, you will got 100%. If you add this, you will got how much? 100%. If you see, it will be 100%. Okay, so I think you got the concept how we find the percent when the total is not 100, right? Okay, now next thing is what? Conversion of fraction and decimal to percentage. Now what we are going to learn, we are going to learn how we convert the fraction and decimal to the percentage, right? So as I told you, for converting in percentage, what we have to do, if we want to move from fraction to percentage, we have to multiply. Let me erase this and we are going to write down it again. Okay, okay, now see, what percent, right? Percentage. So what we have to do, we have to multiply it by 100. Okay, and same for decimal, same thing for decimal. There is nothing a new rule for decimal, right? Okay, so we can do these types of questions like that. Okay, now we are going to do some questions, and with the help of that questions, we are easily get the concept. Okay, so first question we have, which is write 1/3 as percent. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to find out what is one. See, 1/3 is what? A fraction, right? Now what we have to do, we have to find out what is 1/3 as percent. Okay, So as I told you, for percent, we can write it as what? Multiplied by 100. So it will be what? 100 upon 3%. And you can write down this as 33 1 upon 3%. Okay. So what you have to do for percent? You have to multiply that fraction by 100 only. Okay. Same simple question, very simple question. Okay. Now, next question I give you, we have to do this. Okay. Out of 25 children in a class, 15 are girls. Okay. Then what is the percent? What is the percentage of girls? We have to do this. If there are total students is 25 and among that 25, 15 are girls, then what is the percentage of girls? We have to do this. Okay. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to find out the how many fractions of girls are there. So fractions of girls, right? Fraction of girls is what? See, 15 girls are there upon total is 25, right? And for percentage, what we have to do, we have to multiply that fraction by 100. So it becomes 15 upon 25 into 100, right? So you can cancel out this quantity by 4. It will be what? 60%. So how many girls are there? 50%. 60%, not 50%, 50%. Okay. Now we are going to do some more questions. Okay. Okay. We are going to do some more questions here. Okay. So question is, now see, percent can be greater than 100 also, right? But for a particular data, if you have the data ki if, out of this student, out of x number of student, y plays this, x z plays this, and so on, so then you always got sum as 100. Okay. But if fraction is not a proper fraction, means the numerator is greater than the denominator. If a fraction have numerator is greater than its denominator, then the percentage for that particular fraction is what? Greater than 100 for sure. For example, you can write down, convert convert yes, 5 by 4 2%. What we have to do, we have to convert 5 by 4 as percent. So as I told you, for converting in them in percent, we have to multiply it by 100, right? So it becomes 5 by 4 into 100. So you will cancel out by 25, you will get 125%. So if you see now, the percent is greater than 100. So percent can be greater than 100, right? Okay. Okay. Now these are the example for the conversion of what? For the conversion of what? A fraction to percent. Okay. Now some examples I'm going to give you, which is like, now tell me, can you eat? Can if I'm asking that, can you eat 50% of the cake? There is a cake. Okay, there is a cake, complete cake. Now I tell you, can you eat 50% of that cake? Yes, definitely sir. 50% means what? Half of that cake. देखो 100% पूरा केक है. अब 50% means what? The half part of that cake, right? So we can eat 50% of a cake, right? है ना, वो अपन कर सकते हैं. अच्छा, कैन यू ईट 100% ऑफ अ केक? बिल्कुल सर, क्यों नहीं कर खा सकते अपन पूरा केक. अगर अपन खा जाए, उस पूरे केक को अगर अपन खा जाए, तो देन व्हाट वी कैन से, वी ईट 100% ऑफ दैट केक. ठीक है. अच्छा, इफ आई एम टोल्ड यू, कैन यू ईट 150% ऑफ दैट केक? अब मेरे को आप ये बताओ कि कैन वी ईट 150% ऑफ दैट केक? हाँ, क्या हम 150% उस केक का खा सकते हैं? क्या नहीं खा सकते ना. वी नेवर ईट more than 100% of any quantity, because that complete quantity taken as 100%. So how we can eat 150% of a cake? We never eat 150% of a cake. Are you getting my point? Okay, very nice, very nice, very nice. So these all are the examples for what? if we want to convert a fraction to percent, then what we have to do, we have to multiply that fraction by 100. Okay, very nice. Now as I told you, similar we have to do with what? We have to do it what? With what? We have to do same thing we have to do with what? Decimals. Okay, so if there is a question, convert the given decimal, the given decimals to percents. Okay, so for first we have 0.75. Now see, there are a method. What we have to do, we can convert that decimal to fraction. We know that how to convert that fraction, that decimal to fraction. See, that decimals can be written as 75 by 100. Now we know that what, if we want to convert that fraction into percent, then we have to multiply it by 100. So for percent we can multiply it by 100, and what we get, 75%, isn't it? Okay, now second part is 0.09. So direct, you can do direct also, it will be multiplied by 100, so it becomes 9%. Okay, okay, now next question we have to convert third part, right? 0.2. So 0.2 can be written as 2 by 100, right? So 2 by 100, if we want to convert 2 by 100 into percent, then what we have to do, we have to multiply it by 100, and what we get, 2%. Not, this is 2 by, not 100, this is 2 by 10, right? It is not 100, 2 by 10. 0.2 is what, 2 by 10, right? So it becomes 2 like that, right? So let me tell you the answer again. What we get, 0 will be cancelled out 0, it will give 20%, isn't it? It will give 20%. Are you getting my point? So this is what, percent. We have to convert fraction and decimal to percent. Okay, by this method we can convert fraction and decimal to percent. Okay, very nice. Now next topic is what, use of percent. Okay, so the basic use of percent is what, we use percent in our report card. If you heard about that ki you score 95% marks in class 10th, you score 99% marks in class 12th and class 11th and so on. So the percent is what, the marks, how many marks you got. Okay, because for different schools the total marks can be different, but that's why we find a percent. Everybody asking for your percent, nobody asking for your marks, how many percent you got in maths. Okay, so the most basic application of percent is to compare. So if there are two students, okay, one student got 90% marks and another one student 95% marks. Okay, so with the help of that word percent, what we are going to do, we are going to compare the marks in subjects, right? है ना, अपन परसेंटेज एक के 90% है, एक 95% स्कोर कर रहा है, तो अपन दोनों को कंपेयर ही तो कर रहे हैं, दोनों के मार्क्स। अगर अपन बोल रहे हैं इफ वी सेड दैट कि 90% मार्क इज स्कोर्ड बाय स्टूडेंट ए and 95% marks scored by student B. So with the help of that word percent, what we are going to do, we are going to compare one quantity against another, isn't it? So the most basic application of percentage is to compare one quantity against another. Are you getting my point? So that's why that percentage comes in the topic compare and quantities, comparing quantities. Are you getting my point? Okay, now it's become more clear, right? Now with the second quantity revised to 100. So we can take second quantity as 100 revised to 100. Following are the example. If the fraction is 1 by 2, then the percentage of the employee female out of the employees, the male in the two major cities basically. So let me tell you the about this graph. Okay, now there is a company. We can take, there is a company. Now there are some browsers used by the employees of that company. Okay, so there is a company, Chrome are going to be used by 29.03% pupils. Okay, Firefox is going to be used by this much pupils. है ना, IE is used by 22.54% people. Android are going to be used by this much people. Opera is going to be, this is Opera. Opera basically is a browser. Okay, Safari is a tool, okay, and other apart from these. So we can compare, right, and percentage of energy consumed by each economic sector in the United States in 2010. This there is a data, we can represent the data. Now here what we are going to do, we are going to compare that data. By commercial 19%, by industrial 31% energy consumed, residential it is 22%, and transportation is 28%. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to compare with the help of that word percentage. Are you getting my point? Okay, now there are some questions we are going to do. Okay, word problems on percentage. Okay, now in an exam, Ashley scored 332 marks. If she scored 83% marks, then find the maximum marks. Okay, so we can take maximum. For first question we can take maximum marks can be x marks. Okay, we can take x. Okay, so 3332 out of x into 100 is 83%. Simple as that. Yes or no? Are you getting my point? 332 is the total marks he got, and this is maximum marks. So this is what fraction, and for converting that fraction into what percentage, we have to multiply it by 100, and it is given as 83 percentage. So with the help of that equation we can find the value of x. So it becomes 332 into 100 upon 83, which is x. Now if you know that 83 fours are, so how many total marks, maximum marks is what? So maximum marks is 400 for that particular exam. Are you getting my point? Okay, very nice. Okay, now next is an alloy contains 26% of copper. Are you getting this question right? An alloy contains 26% of the copper, then what quantity of alloy is required to get 26 gram of copper? Now see, we have 26 gram of copper. Now same question, right? Now question is asking for total alloy, how much we need to make the copper as 260 gram. So we can take second question. X gram of alloy is required. Okay. So we can say that 260 upon x, this is the fraction of copper. So if we multiply that by 100, then what we get? The percentage of copper present in x, and that is what? 26%, right? So the value of x can be 260 into 100 upon 26, isn't it? So it will be 10 times. So the value of x is what? 1000 gram, means 1 kg. So 1 kg. Yes. So 1 kg, this is kg of alloy required. Alloy required. Are you getting my point? Isn't it? Okay. Okay, now next question is this. The cost of 8 pencils is rupees 10, then find the cost of 20 pencils. Okay, so basically this question is not from the percent part. Basically this question can be done by unitary method. Which method we are going to use to these types of question? Unitary method. And unitary method we are going to learn in next lectures. So if you want to skip this question, then we can skip, because that question, that particular question comes in the topic unitary method, right? Or do you know that, right? In sixth class you learn about unitary method, I think so. Okay, so we can do this question now. Okay, so what is unitary method? And in next lecture I'm going to tell about unitary method in proper. But you learn about unitary method in sixth class, so we can do this question for now. Okay, so the cost of 8 pencil is rupees. See, cost of 8 pencils is rupees 10, right? If you are not going to understand this question, then no worry. We are going to learn unitary method in next lectures. Okay, so what in unitary method, what we have to do, we have to find the cost of one pencil. So how we find the cost of one pencil? So I am talking about cost of one pencil is what we have to divide by 8, sorry, rupees, how much? 10 upon 8, which is rupees 5 by 2, 5 by 4 basically. Now question is asking for 20 pencils, then we have to multiply the cost of one pencil by 20. So cost of 20 pencils is what? Rupees 5 by 4 into 20. It will be cancelled out by 5 terms and it will be give 25 rupees. So what we get? We got answer as B. Okay, so if you are not getting this method, which is unitary method, then no need to worry, we are going to take that method in next lectures. Okay, upcoming lectures. Okay, again this question is from unitary method. Okay, so we can skip this question. We are going to do this question, these types of question in next lecture. Okay, no need to worry. Okay, okay, so this question can be done in next lecture. Okay, okay, very nice, very nice, very nice. Now next question. Now 5 by 2 as percent. Question is asking for, you have to write down 5 by 2 as percent. Now first thing is what? In 5 by 2, numerator is greater than denominator. So the percentage for that particular fraction is greater than 100, isn't it? So how we do that? We have to multiply 5 by 2 by 100, isn't it? So it will be cancelled out by 50 times and it will be gives 250%. So the answer is what? D. D is the correct answer. Are you getting my point? Okay, now we are going to do some questions from our side, right? You can do that. Okay, okay, now write down. So what we learn about how to convert fraction to decimal, not decimal, fraction to percentage and decimal to percentage. Okay, now write down a question. Out of yes, write down. Out of 32 students, there are some words problem. Okay, because in paper generally they are going to ask word problems. Okay, out of 32 students, 8 are absent. Okay, then what percentage, then comma, full stop, what percent of the students are absent? So question is asking for what percent of students are absent in class. So what we have to do, we have to find out how much fraction of students are absent in class. So first of all, we have to find out the value of fraction, which is what? 8 upon 32, right? Now percent, if question is asking for percent, what we have to do, we can simplify it, right? 1 upon 4, so it will be 1 upon 4. Now if question is asking for percent, we have to multiply the value of that particular fraction by 100, isn't it? So 1 upon 4 into 100, then what we get? 25%. If you cancel out this quantity, it will be cancelled out by 24 5 times, right? So this is the solution for this particular question. Okay, okay, this problem is just similar to what? The girls problem, right? The number of girls is given are in the school and total number of students are given, and they are asking for how many percentage of girls are there. Okay, this is just similar to that question. Okay, okay, now next question is, a shop has 500 items. Okay, out of which 5 are defective. 5 are defective, right? Now what percent are defective? Now question is asking for that ki how much percent, what percent is defective. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to find out the fraction, how many fraction items are defective. So first of all, we have to find out, let me change the color. Yes, fraction. How much fraction? Fraction is what? 5 upon 500, right? So if you simplify, it will be what? 1 upon 100. Now, as I told you, for convert fraction into percent, because question is asking for what? It is asking for percent, right? Are you getting my point? Percentage, how much percentage are defective? So it will be 1 upon 100 into what we have to do? We have to multiply that quantity by 100. So it gives what? 1%. So 1% of total items are defective, isn't it? So we can do these types of questions, right? Okay, so we can do one more question. We have the space. Okay, last question for this lecture. There are 120 voters. Okay, 90 of them voted yes. Okay, what percent? What percent voted yes? Okay, so what we have to do? We have to find out the fraction of people voted yes, right? So fraction is what? 90 upon 120, isn't it? So it will be what, if you simplify this, you will got 3 by 4. Now for percentage, it is what? We have to multiply 3 by 4 by 100, right? So it will be 25. So it will be 75%. Okay. Now what we are going to do? We are going to take a quick review for this lecture. Okay. So basically in this lecture, we learn about these 5 topics. Okay. First is percentage when total is not 100, and how we do that, how we see that the percentage is not, total is not 100. Okay, so simply we can find the fraction and then we can multiply that fraction by 100. Okay, now we learn about how we convert that fraction in decimal to percentage, right, by multiplying by 100. Now converting fraction percentage to fraction or decimal. Okay, so basically this topic, let me check. Conversion, use of fraction. Okay. Okay. So basically this topic is not in this slide. So we can cover this topic in next lecture. Okay, this one. Converting fraction, converting percentage to fraction or decimal. Now basically if you want to take some idea for converting percentage to fraction into decimal, what we have to do? We have to divide by 100. है ना? देखो, हमने कन्वर्ट करने के लिए फ्रैक्शन को डेसिमल में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए what we are going to do, we are going to multiply it, right, multiplied by them by 100. Now for converting them into fraction or decimal, what we have to do? We have to divide by 100. For example, if we want to convert 1%, so we have to divide this by 100. So this become in fraction, and this fraction can be written as 0.01. Okay, simple for 25%, this 25% is can be written as 25 upon 100. So if you solve this, it will be 0.1 upon 4 or it will be 0.25. Simply as that. Okay, so we learn about that part, right? Okay, so this is enough for today's lecture. Okay, so thank you.